Every motivational speaker will tell you the same thing. Build discipline. Be consistent. Commit harder. None of them will tell you this. Your brain is running a budget. And every time you exercise willpower, it bills you. This is not a failure of character. This is neuroscience. Think about the last time you meant to do something. Go to the gym. Skip the late-night scroll. Sit down and work. You knew what to do. You wanted to do it. You didn't. And then came the story. You told yourself you were weak, undisciplined, that other people, the ones who seemed to function effortlessly, simply had more. But here's what that story got wrong. It assumed willpower was a character trait. It isn't. It's a biological resource, and your brain protects it, the way your body protects blood. Every decision you make, every impulse you resist, every moment of sustained focus, they all draw from the same account. And the account runs out. The question is, did anyone figure out how to stop the bleeding? In 1998, psychologist Roy Baumeister at Case Western Reserve University ran a deceptively simple experiment. 2 groups of participants were placed in a room with fresh baked cookies and radishes. Group 1 was told to eat the cookies. Group 2 was told to resist them and eat the radishes instead. Then both groups were given an unsolvable puzzle to work on. The cookie group persisted for over 20 minutes. The radish group, the ones who had already spent effort resisting, gave up after 8. The conclusion Baumeister drew: self-control is not infinite. It depletes, like a muscle. He called this ego depletion. Here's the problem. The mechanism runs through the prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive control center, responsible for planning, decision-making, and impulse inhibition. The prefrontal cortex is one of the most metabolically expensive structures in the human brain. Running it costs energy. Running it under pressure costs more. Later research refined the picture. The depletion isn't purely about glucose, as first proposed. It appears to be driven by something more fundamental: shifts in motivation. The brain reallocating its resources away from effortful control toward easier, more rewarding behaviors. In other words, your brain doesn't run out of fuel. It decides the fuel isn't worth spending. And here's the part no one talks about. The more decisions you make about what to eat, whether to respond to that message, what to wear, the more resistance you face when you finally try to do the thing that actually matters. By the time you sit down to do your most important work, your prefrontal cortex may have already spent hours managing what you told yourself was minor. Your brain doesn't distinguish between important decisions and trivial ones. Every choice is a withdrawal. This is not weakness. This is engineering. And the Stoics understood it 2,000 years before Baumeister named it. Marcus Aurelius was emperor of Rome. He commanded armies, arbitrated disputes, managed an empire spanning 3 million square miles. And every morning, he fought himself. In Meditations, Book 5, he records the internal battle. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work. As a human being, he's not commanding himself with iron will. He is negotiating with a reluctant brain. What separated Marcus from the rest wasn't the size of his willpower. It was the structure he built around himself. Epictetus, born a slave, who became the most widely read philosopher in the Roman world, taught, The wise man designs his circumstances, so resistance becomes unnecessary. Cato, the Stoic senator Marcus admired most, did not build willpower by gritting his teeth. He walked barefoot in the Roman winter, not to prove strength, but to make his body familiar with discomfort, to remove discomfort's power over his choices. The Stoics weren't conquering their biology, they were redesigning the battlefield. What Baumeister would measure as ego depletion, the exhaustion of the prefrontal cortex under continuous effortful control, the Stoics avoided by structural design. Marcus could show up fully present in the throne room, not because he had unlimited willpower, but because he had spent the night before making the decisions that would cost him nothing by morning. They didn't try to outspend their brain's budget. They built a life that needed less of it. This is the real Stoic method, not force of will, architecture of circumstance. Call it the battlefield principle. Your brain has a finite budget for self-control. The Stoic didn't try to earn more of it. He spent less of it by design. Here's what that looks like in practice. If you want to write consistently, don't rely on motivation at 9 p.m. after 6 hours of decisions. Make the decision once. This hour, this chair, this task. Every day. Non-negotiable. The prefrontal cortex doesn't get built for habits, only for choices. If you want to eat better, don't test your willpower in the supermarket. The battle is over before it starts. If you never bought the wrong thing to begin with. The Stoics would ask, where am I spending self-control that I could spend zero? Every ritual, every routine, every deliberately simplified environment. A withdrawal you never have to make. The Stoic didn't conquer his brain. He redesigned the battlefield. And a battlefield you design is one you've already won. You were never failing at discipline. You were fighting on terrain your brain never agreed to defend. Stop spending willpower. Start spending architecture. Refine the steel.